Welcome back. You're watching our continuous coverage here from Davos 2022. The energy crisis is top of mind here. Leaders, government as well as business leaders talking about what the roadmap ahead looks like in the context of the current crisis between Russia and Ukraine, and of course the transition as we move towards a cleaner, greener future. Joining me now is a man who knows a thing or two about those issues. Claudio, many thanks for joining us here on CNBC TV 18. This is what everyone here is talking about. What's happening with energy prices, what's happening with Russia and Ukraine, the impact of that on the energy markets. In the short to medium term, how much more volatility are we likely to see?
Thank you, and good to see you. It's of course it's a challenging situation we're all in. It's a crisis, and it's not a local nor regional. It's a global crisis, and then we need to deal with this in the right way, looking at what the root cause is, and it's not necessarily this current crisis that is creating, for instance, inflationary trends that are affecting the supply chain. Global trade is also under pressure, therefore the not being able to leverage the global footprint that companies like us have been built in the past decades. Technology is there. It's not a bottleneck. It's not the roadblock. What we need is to find ways, learning from the crisis we went through the past 2 years from the pandemic, on how to collaborate, how to work in a partnering approach, how to be agile and innovative, not just from a technology standpoint, but also on business models, on policies, on regulatory framework that would allow us to deploy those technology at the speed and at the scale that is required.
You know, you're right in pointing out that the crisis is not entirely on account of what we're seeing at this point in time, but perhaps been exacerbated by the current situation. As you talk about collaborations and partnerships, as well as the resiliency in global supply chains that you alluded to, from a company perspective, take me through what you are being able to do at this point in time to try and de-risk yourself and mitigate some of these challenges.
Right. So first of all, is not looking at only the current bottleneck, but also trying to understand throughout the value chain of our industry. Not looking only at what we do, but looking at what our customers do. To some extent, even looking at what all the stakeholders need to do in order to implement the energy transition activities that we're working on. And then look at our partners on the supply side, look at our partners on the demand side, and really put the things on the table in a transparent way, building more trust. I think this pandemic helped us also in learning how to trust each other, and we've been leveraging that now for this particular crisis.
I want to talk about India because that's where we're beaming live to. So I want to understand how important it continues to be for you today, and more importantly, what you believe will be the drivers for your business in India.
Look, India, it's first of all, it has a very special place in our company, in our business, and in our strategy. It's the single largest footprint we have, and we've been building that over the years. And we've been taking step by step a bigger role, using the tremendous pool of resources, talents in engineering and many other areas to help all the other markets around the world to deploy this technology, to make the design, the optimization, all the engineering that is required. And we serve from those engineering centers in India, globally, worldwide, the highest complexity we're dealing with, for instance, digitalizing the grids, HVDC technology deployed in many markets. In addition to that, what is really relevant for us in India is that you have all the key components of the technology. You have also all the key components of the challenges that it takes to put together a resilient grid that will be capable of managing that additional complexity in the future, by adding renewables, by also adding new consumption like mobility on electrical side, of course, industries that need to be electrified, cooling, heating, and so on. And India has all the ingredients for us to leverage that experience, the existing one, and also looking at how do we develop technology that will be potentially developed and deployed in India and then taking it in other parts of the world.
So let me end by asking you about what the demand outlook is at this point in time. You've of course got the move towards this energy transition, but you're also staring at slower growth across the world today. When the two combine, what does it tell you in terms of demand?
Look, for us, as we are right at the center of transmission, distribution, grid technology, that more and more becomes evident that it's an area that has been underinvested in the past and it needs much more attention in order to deliver the future energy system where electricity will be the backbone. And therefore, we're probably a bit of a decoupled from the current GDP macroeconomic trends, because the good news, I think, is that there is a consensus that we have to manage the crisis, but we also cannot lose sight of the long-term plan. And the long-term plan is delivering the targets for 2030, delivering net zero for 2050, 60 or 70, as every country has deployed now.
Well, we wish you the very best of luck, Claudio, and thanks very much for joining us here on CNBC TV 18. Well, we will take a break. The conversations continue here at Davos 2022. From all of us here, goodbye. Thanks for watching.